So this is my Piccolo multi-purpose appliance. I haven't powered it on yet, so we're going to give it a try. So as you can see, I've got this little thing here. It's wired in series with this light bulb, so if there's a short, the light bulb will glow and hopefully not cause too much damage to anything. And now, it's only got the blender attachment, unfortunately. So it's just a blender, and this just fits in there, just to the motor spindle. And this glass thing just screws on. There we go. Yep, and there's the brand. It'll focus, yep. And then around here is the handle. It's a rubberized handle, so I don't know, it looks a bit more modern than the 20s, but that's apparently when it's from. This is, you remove that if you want to use the vacuum cleaner or the furniture polisher. And no, I did not pay $395 for this. It was a lot less. I would not be paying that. And this base comes off. And you can probably, I think that's where the vacuum cleaner, part of the vacuum cleaner attachment went. Anyway, so we've got quite a long cord. So we'll plug that in. Turn on the power, and then there's a switch here. So the moment of truth. Okay. There's a short somewhere. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I should test it with the multimeter first, but that's not as fun. So worst case, it's a useless display model. So see you later then. As you can see in the shed where I sometimes develop prints as well. But this is the Piccolo multi-purpose appliance that I only have the blender attachment for, that, yeah, it doesn't seem to work. So I'm going to do some tests. So I've got a multimeter here, and I'm going to see if the thing is completely shorted, or if the problem is something else. Maybe it was, yeah, we'll see. So I believe it's off now, so there really should not be anything. No. Oh, we'll make sure the meter's working. You should always, I'll put it on the stand where you can see what I'm doing. Is that visible? Just trying to get there. So, you see? Nothing. So when the switch is on the back, there we go. Now, okay. So it's not a dead short. So. Now it's not going to be exactly accurate. There we go, something. Maybe a corrosion. I wish I had ones that are clipped on, but it could be that this plug's just. Now we've got something. Now I need to zero the meter. With analog multimeters, whenever you're measuring ohms, you have to zero it for each setting. So that looks about right. Again, it doesn't really matter. We don't need an exact reading. I just want to make sure it's not shorted. There we go. Was it 2,000 ohms? I don't know if that's right. Anyway, what we're going to do is open it up and see. So first you unscrew, actually unscrews to the right, so clockwise the glass unscrews. And this is the thing I don't like about this design, is I would have thought the whole base would have a base built in, but no. It all relies on this rubber seal, and this seal here too, but all this rubber seal, which has got a bit hard, to stop all the liquids in your blender from going into the motor. So, not sure I would use this anymore. Definitely not without a new seal. And then we've got the base. Now, interestingly, the base has a button here, presumably for other attachments. Now, the rubber actually just unclips. There's two clips here, there and there. The device just sort of, there we go. And yeah, this is it's a rubber. It's rubber with a metal sort of frame. Some sort of casting. And that's just the stand. So this is, you take that off whenever you're putting it in, I think, the vacuum cleaner fitting. You'd put it like that. I've got some screws. So, of course, I haven't got the screwdrivers with me. They're in another shed, so I'll be back in a second. So, now that I've picked an appropriate screwdriver, let's see if I can make it visible too. But let's see if I can unscrew this base. Oh, it's nice and easy. And it's always good to have containers to put things in. Something I sometimes forget. But this will come on. Looks like there's a fan or something here. And we'll soon find out. If I can figure out how this comes off. There's some rubber things there. Oh, here we go. Well, that definitely needs a clean. Yeah, that's from this. Oh, the wax capacitor. Yeah, this definitely needs clean. And if this is what it's like, then the whole yeah, look at that. Look at that dust. Come on. Is it going to focus? Anyway, you can see it's just a layer of dust. That's odd. This is all sort of... I don't know what this stuff is. It's sheets of rubber that have been glued in place. So this... Okay, so this is important. This goes over these two... what do you call them? Brushes? Yeah. Shouldn't be. Oh, yep. Yeah, these two little... the brushes here, this goes over there to presumably insulate it. So that fits in here. And this cutout lines up with the power cord. So it's all very clever. You can't really assemble it the wrong way. Now, this whole unit is loose. Let's see if I can pull it out. Some screws. Oh, there's some screws on the top or something. Now I have seen one with this plastic removed, so I don't know if this unscrews as well. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to be cutting a lot of stuff out of this. I wonder if the handle has to come off. Oh, is it the cord? Is it the power cord that's stopping me from doing that? The switch? I think that might be the problem. Oh no, this rubber here. Put that. But they've got these rubber flaps and they seem to just slide out. I think if anything they just shield some electronics. Well, electrical connections, not electronics. From the, they're just to make sure it's double insulated, because it does say double insulated, do not earth. So that's just so it's actually double insulated. Now, let's see if I can get up so you can get a bit of... Always forget. Enjoy the shot of the wall. So there you go. You can just sort of see, and see if I can move all the stuff that's piled in the way. But yeah, maybe you can see what I'm doing, because I can't. Anyway, we've got a button. We've still got that button there, which I still don't know what it. I think it's something. It's so it knows when something's connected here. I don't know what it does particularly. But then we've got some connections here to something or other. And yeah, when I pull on this, it starts coming out. It could just be this switch needs to be removed along with the rest, because the wire is quite short. The wire is both short and it is sort of tied in, sort of clipped in to the rest, which is very nice. Of course, it's German; it will all be very neat. So that's the screw for the switch, which is not free at all, so that did absolutely nothing. And I'm sure I've seen this bakelite top fitting removed on it for some other attachments, but I just can't see how it comes off. Just slide off? No, it doesn't seem to unscrew. I would have thought it would unscrew the other way to the glass. Yeah, I have no clue. Maybe there's just different models or something, I don't know. Well, that would seem like a very bad idea for something modular. Not looking good, I've already stumped. You can see where the screws are, I don't know if you... In there, you can see where it sticks out there. I think that will be for screws on the other side. Let's see if this thing turns. Yeah. There's a delay. It's probably got a... Again, it's not focusing, is it? You can see it moving. But yeah, that doesn't really seem like it would be that stuck, so I don't know why it didn't turn. Unless something is wrong with something else. Anyway, what I'm going to do is just clean that up. You don't need to see that, just use a brush and some paper towel maybe. You know, what am I saying? It seems the most popular bits are when people wipe things off and clean them up. It's apparently satisfying. So, you know what, here you go, a damp cloth. And, look. It's gone. And then a brush. There. I hope everyone is very satisfied. Yeah, I'm going to do it at an angle so you can see it vanishing. Oh, this is ridiculous. But there you go. Look how much cleaner it is, isn't it magical? Let's see, it looks like a capacitor or something. Well, this is definitely loose. I'm really surprised about how much of the rubber on this is still soft. Really, this cord, slightly scary, but it's got no... Oh, I can't even see. But it doesn't really have any problems. I did tape a bit at the end because I was worried just in case. Because, of course, whenever you have one of these strain reliefs, right after the strain relief is a lot of strain. So I taped that up. But the cord looks good. And, again, this rubber fitting is still pretty good, considering it's about 90 years old. And even the worst one is this. But it still makes a really good seal, even though it is cracked. So I'm just pretty surprised at how good, and again, even this, nice and soft. I'm so surprised at how good this rubber is. Because again, most old rubber just crumbles into nothing. And you know, that's not bad, it's just neat, it's just around here. I suppose it's not actually a fan, it's just wiring, but because it's got a vent there, it sucked all the dust in. Now this does look like rust. Again, it's not like I'm going to be using this as an actual blender. Well, nah, considering the design, definitely not going to be using this as a blender anymore. If I had the vacuum cleaner attachment, I would definitely use it if it worked. And the furniture repolishing one, that would be great, but not the blender. But just the design of not because it's old, but just the design. I do not like this relying on this one rubber seal. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they will actually have that design. I just haven't noticed. But yeah, I would like it to be more, because you've got that and you've got here, and it's 90-year-old rubber seal. No thanks. That one is going to go into the motor and destroy it. But actually, you can see the winding. There you go, isn't that beautiful? You can see it gleaming in there. And the question is that thing damaged or not? I might have another try. I'll get a bigger screwdriver. Oh, I have got the bigger screwdriver, that's what this is. Does it fit? Yep. There we go. That was actually surprisingly easy. So just use the right screwdriver, and if it doesn't work, get a bigger one. Because that was nice and easy. And there's a washer, which of course I dropped into it. Please fall out. That went a lot better than I was expecting. I've dropped washers into things and never seen them again. But this time it wasn't a disaster. And these longer screws with the washers, they go on the presumably bearing. I think this is going to be the bearing. And this one seems to be the earth connect. It shouldn't be an earth connector. So this will be, I don't know, it'll be some sort of connector for, it is red, so that should be active, right? I don't know why you'd have the active going on here. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that. This is just a little clip. I thought I broke it, but no, it's just a clip that holds down this little capacitor here. Oh, this is quite, it's a little multi-capacitor. I've never seen, I don't think it is. It's, oh, ball bearings. That's quite nice. Make sure I don't lose the ball bearings, although you can see in there. But this capacitor is 0.07 microfarads, and then plus 2 times 2,500 picofarads for 250 volts, 4 amps. Yep. But there you go. That is, you can see it's got a few wires going into it. So yeah, it's a dual. It looks like a dual capacitor, although it does say it has 3 ratings. That's odd. But I've never seen one of those that small. And there's the bearings, little ball bearings. And that doesn't seem bad. So I don't know what's going on. This bearing looks really, it doesn't look gummed up. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, it seems to be turning. It's noisy, but it sounds like something else is rubbing. But is that because I've undone the screws that hold this all in place? Because this is all wobbling now. There's that power. Oh, that bit of the power cord. So that's where the power cord goes. Yeah. Oh no, there's more dust. Let's see. Is this going to be satisfying to watch? Can you even see it? It's the dust that was stuck in. Oh, I just realised. Aren't I an idiot? Brushing dust into the ball bearing. I'll cover that hole. Oh, careful. That's the ancient insulation. Okay, I hope I didn't get too much dust into the ball bearing. I'm sure I got lots of dust into the ball bearing. That doesn't help at all. Getting this thing off was of no help. I'm not exactly surprised. Oh, I better not lose this little clip. It's probably important. Well, it keeps this from moving, although it doesn't seem to move it. Yeah, I might just screw it all back down because for now, hopefully I remember to not power it up like it is, but for now I don't think it's important. I just don't, yeah, it's not going to be important in getting this motor out because I want to get the other in now. Like I've seen this bearing and there didn't really seem to be anything wrong. I will now, if I'm oiling the other one, we'll clean and oil this one too. But there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with this one. There doesn't really seem to be anything wrong anywhere. Oh, but I do realise something. These screws here, the ones that are there, these are, they're so small. Yeah. This connector here, I think that'll give you the perfect opportunity to test it. Much better than the sort of corroded PowerPoint. So, now, again you can see the meter. Let's set it to 1. Now we're going to test the continuity. Let's test the continuity. Now, I think we'll first check. Yep, that's as it should be. Ah, I didn't adjust it properly, did I? Again, it doesn't really matter, but we can be certain that this is that conducts. Yep, that conducts, so the connector's good. We can also test the switch, I think. What we can do is check across here. Now we got nothing. Ah. We've definitely got something. Got 250 ohms. Yeah. Okay. So apparently it's 250 ohms. So yeah, this power point, as you can see, or the power socket plug is a bit corroded, so I should probably give it a clean before I plug it in too. But yeah, I honestly have no clue what a normal motor should be, but it's not 0, so that's sort of good, right? It's not definitely bad, I hope. Anyway, now the question is how I wonder if maybe it's the power cord that's... No, I think it is the switch. I have no idea how to remove the switch though. I've unscrewed it. Oh, I'm an idiot. There's a second screw. It's just sort of disguised in the design. It's right there. Well, it's also disguised by all the grime. But no, that's a very nice design. They're not very helpful though. Oh, you actually know it is completely. You can only unscrew it when it's turned on. Interesting design choice. Put a screw on that can only be undone when the unit is turned on. Definitely not going to pose any hazard to anyone. So. I still can't remove the switch because it's got such a beautiful big toggle. So I probably have to undo. Well, that's screwed on anyway. Ah! That's a thought. Oh, I've got weird ties. I have no clue how to do that. If I unscrew, if I just unscrew everything, then everything will come apart, right? So unscrew this. Okay, that just keeps going. I hope that's not a bolt. Because if that's a bolt, there's no way I'm going to be able to... Yeah, I'm worried that was a bolt. Okay. Something's a bit looser. Something's rattling around. Yeah, I'm supposed to... I don't know if I can disconnect it. I can't get to anything. I'm sure there's someone who knows how to open these things up and is laughing at me, but... Yeah, if they ever find this in the first place. A lot of me trying to repair things is just staring at it, thinking, so... Again, I've got a lot of editing work. You know what? I think I'll try taking the handle off. I don't know, it's got such nice big screws, it's either to hold it on or suggesting, oh, please remove this. Someone has before. I think there's some scrapes. I'm going to try not to scratch this rubber because, again, this is a rubberized handle and it is still so soft. I did not expect something this old to be in such nice shape. So there's one screw. Yeah, such an exciting viewing, isn't it? There's the other screw. So let's see if it even comes off. Ooh. No, this has never come off before. Is there something inside this? Oh, it just took a piece of the paint off. Wow. Take a look at that. The rubbers had the pattern imprinted. The pattern of the paintwork imprinted on it. And yeah, it did peel off a bit of paint. It's inconsequential, it's covered up anyway. So I'll just wipe off the dirt. But no, that was completely useless. I have to be careful because the paint is a bit damaged. It does peel at some of the places where it's been knocked about. So I think I'll just put that back on because there's nothing under that. So actually you can see the rubber coating here. Again, focus. You can see the rubber coating there. How this is a bit where it wasn't supposed to be poured on, but it's seeped in, but it hasn't stuck, and you can see there's a metal base. So very interesting. I remember we did something a bit like this in school, except it was way terribler. But nope, that was completely unnecessary. But yep, you know, you don't need to remove this. It is completely irrelevant to opening this device up. Again, the rubber. So soft. What sort of rubber did they use? Because it is really good. I suppose maybe this thing has just been stored really well, although, I don't know, maybe? Who knows? There's an article about someone who is actually still using one of these as their main sort of appliance. And she actually seems to have about 2 or 3 of these motor units, as well as just about all the attachments. There's an article on one of those little news sites. But I'm sure I've seen this thing removed. Maybe it broke off. I don't know. I can't see anything in there either. Oh, because there isn't anything, it's just empty space. Actually, that looks like, let's see. Yeah, I don't think this actually is coming off. It goes all the way down, so maybe there are different versions, or maybe it was there, I just didn't see it in the photo. Maybe it was just a bit of an illusion. Maybe the attachment went over this. But yeah, so I'm stumped. Because it turns out this thing goes all the way down. That's why it's all black, it's all plastic. So actually it might just be, let's see, because I saw a dark rim in here. So that could be that. In which case, it's definitely not coming off. It's been put in first. It's probably the first thing to have been put in here, in this little unit. So, it's definitely not coming off. Again, this stuff looks new. When I saw that, I thought, oh, someone's been in here. But this might actually just be original. I think this is all original because this is how. Otherwise, it would definitely not be double insulated. Although I don't know, is it? I don't know if this would be considered modern double insulated, but it's definitely, definitely 1920s double insulated. Oh, I don't know why I was so worried about the power cord, because that just comes out. The only problem is the switch. I really do not want to break this, because it is bakelite, and breaking that would, be very hard to fix. Oh, look, almost. Here we go. I just needed to turn it a different way. Watch it all just slide out now. It was my own stupidity. Oh. It was my own stupidity. You can see this thing's actually incredibly simple. It is just a motor. So there we go. And again, it's got clear rubber insulation. It's all just perfectly fine. This really well made. And this is just plastic. Look at this. This thing is plastic. It's translucent plastic. Every time I look at this, I think, is it really from the 20s? But that's everything I read is this is from I think late 20s, mid 1920s. No, I think mid 20s, 1925 apparently was what I read. So, it just, I don't know. To me, it looks a lot newer than that. But maybe, I suppose it is German, so maybe that's why. Maybe I'm just used to the local stuff, which is all just wooden boxes. It looks more like something I'd expect from the 50s, not. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's something from what, 50s or something. It just, I don't know. But now, I have no clue how any of this comes off though. So I don't know. I think I've just gotten from one point of being confused to another. It's a massive metal washer. Oh. And here's the fan. This thing, here, you can see there's the bits, and here is the fan. And now, I don't know if why does this thing not focus? There, you can see, there's the fan. These are the little blades. And that's why it has, oh, no, interesting. Oh no, it does have a gap along here in this bakelite plate, and here is something that says remove. You remove this for the vacuum cleaner and for the furniture polishing attachment, I think. And so this thing must, I don't know, maybe suction. Oh, it should be suction. I don't know why you want suction. I think it does both. Maybe there's, depending on what, because it's a vent here, so this is probably just the cooling vent or something, or it's bringing cool air in. Anyway, actually no, I think that's it. It brings cool air in here and blows out here. What's with the vacuum cleaner? I don't know how it works. I'd have to power it on to see, but I've got the motor out, and it's actually it's quite simple, this thing, because again, this is just the base unit. The whole idea is that it's cheaper because you only have the one motor. You have this big motor, that very nice, big, powerful motor, presumably powerful. But you have this one motor, and then you attach your attachments to it, rather than having to buy separate appliances that all have their own motor. So that's how it's supposed to make it cheaper. Of course, it means you're going to use one appliance at a time. But anyway, I'm not making a video on its history. I'll do that another time, maybe, if I can be bothered. But trying to figure out what on earth is wrong with this thing. I have no clue how to remove this part now. I'm sort of tempted to plug it in again and see what happens, but I really... How does it... I wonder how it stands off... Ah! It relies on this. This is what holds... This little... This washer stands on this... Careful. That tiny little rim there. It stands on that, and that stops it from the fan from hitting the screws and bakelite plate. Which actually, it's done a job. It's done a good job of so far. Oh, this is interesting. Again, let's see if it can focus, because that is really intriguing. There's a name. There's a German name on it. A German. Well, I don't know if it's a name or maybe it's a label, because it's not on the other stuff, so it could just be a label. Let's see if I can get any light on this. Is that number 1, or is it something else? Anyway, this is Einrissfest and Reisfest? I don't know. Don't know what that means, but there you go. There's some name or label. It looks... Might be a label saying put this here or something. I don't know. I don't know. It means something to someone. Most things do. There's nothing wrong with it. So I don't know why it didn't spin. It would be hilarious if the reason it didn't spin is because I put this thing in and this thing is just jammed up that one time. Again, this... it's definitely stiffer. Maybe this is the thing that... Oh, it just... Oh, that would be so funny. Yeah, it just got gnawed. I don't know how to dismantle this. But yeah, it just got sort of jammed up. So, was the problem that I had this thing in and it just happened to seize up that one point, and anger it? Because that would be typical. Oh, so is this bent? That would be typical, and it'd also be quite funny. It's got a Again, how on earth is anyone going to undo that nut? It's just trapped inside this device. If anyone has a spanner that can get to that, I don't know, I'm probably not going to use it. Because I think that's the only way to open this thing up, isn't it? But maybe I just need to drip some oil in it. Just drip some 3-in-1 into this. For maximum deliciousness of food. But now I'm just talking to myself. Well, actually, I'm probably always talking to myself. But I might just put it in, because it doesn't need... Oh, great, the switch. I might put it back in. Oh, I just said I wasn't going to do that now that I opened up the bearing. But I never said I'd... Oh, here's another stamp, but it's a bit... Yeah, it's not very clear. There's a 300, a 011, some numbers, and a Skioru. I don't know. It's not very clear as to what it was, what it said. Maybe someone recognises that. There's not been much of a repair, it's more been a rant. No, not a rant either, it's just been a very one-sided conversation. But yeah, I can't get to this bearing because I cannot see any way of removing this. This seems to be stamped on. But on the other hand, I don't think I'd want to. It's little noisy. I think that's the fan. So I suppose I'll put it back together, and I see the battery is dying. Oh great, the camera's going to throw a tantrum. Oh, this is annoying. But yeah. So I don't think there's actually any problem with it. I think it might have just been this is the problem. This has happened to seize up, and maybe it just needs to be... I might just flush it out with alcohol. That is probably just the smartest thing, because I cannot unscrew that. Or maybe even hot water. And the battery is just Time to do a very quick and very ill-advised power-up. Oh, it did! It works! It works! And it's only a little noisy. The bearings are just a little noisy. So it's just because this just draws so much current that the light bulb lights up. It was no problem at all. It was just my own stupidity. Well, there you go. I'll clean the bearing. I don't have time. I can't show it. I might. No, I will show it. But anyway, you get that. Battery's dying. Thing works fine. It was all paranoia and nonsense. Goodbye. Habit of saying goodbye too many times. Well, guess what else works? Did I mention that without the glass, this thing looks like it's going to mince your face? There you go.